Sawasdee krap, and good afternoon. Today is Wednesday, the 3rd of November, 2021, and this is the English language summary at the press briefing here at the Center for COVID Situation Administration, or CCSA. So thank you, Dr. Sumani, just now for the update in the Thai language version. She highlighted some important issues. I'll just highlight some of those now. First is that among the blue provinces, meaning the provinces that are pilot sandbox provinces, and of course you know that some districts within provinces as well are considered included in that list. Now these blue provinces, all of them have surpassed the vaccination rate that have been expected, have been targeted already. There is particular just one province which is on the way, which is the province of Nong Khai, that has yet to reach 50% of inoculation in the province. Of course, that is underway. Another issue, another province is Chiang Mai province, which remains to be of concern. Just now there was information regarding the infection rates in markets, in particular 4 or 5 wet markets in the Chiang Mai area in particular. So authorities are, as we speak, conducting active case finding through the ATK testing in order to control, and of course all the necessary precautions to be made in the province of Chiang Mai. So hoping that the number in the province will not be increasing in the days ahead. I'll start off with the update on the number of vaccinations that have been administered. Yesterday we inoculated 787,976 doses of vaccines, making the national rate of those who have received the first dose of vaccine at 59.4% of the total population, and the accumulated number of vaccinations is now over 77 million doses. 77 million doses. Of course, breakdown into each category of whether it's the first or second dose or third dose, but in total 77 million doses already. The Ministry of Public Health also aims to reach the goal of vaccinating 100 million doses by the end of November. So let's see how that goes. Hopefully by the end of the year we'll have a high number of inoculations in the country. So targeted at 100 million doses by the end of November. Considering the inoculation rate, the administration rate of the vaccines that we have, the capacity that we have, that would be possible to reach this goal. Now, moving to the general situation, numbers we have for today. New confirmed case is 7,679. 7,679 new confirmed case. You see that on the screen there for you. As compared to the new recoveries, which is higher, new recoveries recorded is 8,484. We have active cases at the moment, 97,585. You can see that on screen. Of course, this number is decreasing day by day. Just last week, this was over 100,000, and it decreased each day as each day went by to 99,000. Now it's a little bit over 97,000 active cases. Of this number, 2,205 are in critical condition, and 483 patients remain on ventilators. 56 fatalities. The fatality rate remains at 1.01%. So our condolences, of course, go to those who have passed away, succumbed to this infection. Moving on to the reopening. As you know, the reopening of the country, we have some statistics for you there. The 1st of November, 2 days ago, was the first day that we, so to speak, so-called opening up of the country, having 63 countries, people flying in from 63 countries and territories, not having to quarantine. So we launched this exemption from quarantine scheme. We'll call it the Test and Go scheme, which welcomed travelers since Monday. And as of yesterday, travelers using the Test and Go scheme registered at 1,769 persons, with the accumulated passengers at 4,022 persons within the past 2 days. That's the 1st to the 2nd of November. of which 3 persons were found with COVID positive, registering at 0.07% infection rate for the test and go. Now, the top nationals coming into Thailand through the test and go include countries like Japan, Singapore, Qatar, China, and Germany. And as for the registration, as of 6:30 a.m. this morning, the Thailand Pass system has registered 39,506 travelers preparing to travel to Thailand. So this is the registration, of which 6,484 have been approved. And you have an infographic there on screen. You can visit the Thailand Pass site at tp.consular.go.th. Of course, the process time would not take very long, not over 7 days. And once we receive the registration, the process begins, as long as your documentation and information is correct and according to the requirements. And then as the process goes on and as the approval is conveyed, then we have more travelers coming in as we speak day by day. So to date, this morning, over 39,000 registered already. And hopefully they will be approved and coming to visit Thailand under our strict prevention, protection system. So a bit on the immunization certificate, the immunization certificate for international travel, or what we dub the vaccine passport. You have an infographic there from the Public Relations Department. You can find that on their Facebook. So the Department of Disease Control has issued and updated the vaccine passport, which is called the Covid-19 Certificate of Vaccination, as published in the Royal Gazette. Now, within the document, there will be details of immunization. The certificate for international travel will be presented. Also, an electronic version of the immunization certificate for international travel will also be made available. And you have some sources, contacts there for applying for this vaccine certificate for traveling abroad. And those who wish to make an appointment to make this certificate, please visit the MOPROM application as well to make the appointment. And further details you can see on screen, and as I mentioned, on our social media pages. So just some light information in addition is the reopening of some major tourist attractions. Since the 1st of November, we're pleased to inform that some sites, such as royal palaces and major tourist attractions across the country, are reopening for domestic and international tourists, including as you see on screen, the Grand Palace, Emerald Buddha in Bangkok, Bang Pa-in Palace in Ayutthaya, Phuping Palace in Chiang Mai, the Chang Homan project, according of the Royal Initiative in Phetchaburi, as some examples, the Queen Sirikit Museum of Textiles in Bangkok, Sala Chalerm Krung Royal Theatre in Bangkok as well. So it's worth noting that the reopening of Thailand to tourism, both internationally and domestically, has to be continued to be done in strict compliance with our Universal Prevention Guidelines, DMHTTA. And of course, avoid 3 C's, avoid crowded places, avoid close contact settings, and avoid confined and enclosed spaces. And this is, of course, aimed at protecting ourselves and the ones we love as we are transitioning towards learning to live with COVID as we open up the country. And just lastly, I'd just like to mention that this month and the month ahead, of course, there will be a lot of important days, important holidays and festivals, be it Kathina ceremony, the religious Buddhist ceremonies, as well as the Loi Krathong each November. And also, of course, towards December, we'll be having Christmas and New Year. But as we move on to opening up and living life to normal and enjoying all these festivities and the company of our friends and our family and our loved ones, we have to remain very mindful, be very keeping in mind at the top of our head that the measures remain very important. We can enjoy ourselves, but of course, please keep up with all the measures. Please don't let your guard down. And we'll have, of course, a good holiday season in the month ahead. But meanwhile, we're still in November, and middle of the month of November, we'll be re-evaluating the statistics and all the situation that we have at hand. In the middle of November, that will be 2 weeks after the reopening of the country in terms of the no quarantine scheme. And we'll reassess again the situation in the provinces, in Chiang Mai, in the southern part of Thailand, in Bangkok, in various markets or construction sites, as well as schools, because many schools opened for physical on-site learning this week already, as you would know, including international schools. So all of this, the whole spectrum of all of this is very important for the country. It's very important for all of us living together in this country, the Kingdom of Thailand. And we hope that we'll continue to join hands and help to prevent further spread and be very mindful, be very responsible in whatever you do, when you send your children to school, when you join the holiday seasons or festivities, and when you go out shopping in restaurants, if you travel to Chiang Mai or the south or other provinces in the country, and if your friends visit from abroad as well, so to speak. So all of this is very important. I hope that we'll always be remembering that the important measures are here for our own good. It's a lot of sacrifice, but we've been doing this for, I guess, 18 months and almost 2 years already. And it has saved actually a lot of lives in Thailand. It has saved a lot of lives and the effort of the medical community, the medical staff and doctors and nurses in Thailand as well. It has enabled us to balance between the health measures and the economic revival, the survivability of small businesses in Thailand. So it's very, very important that we strike this balance. And it, of course, depends on all of you. It depends on all of you, either whether you are Thai nationals or foreign nationals, friends of Thailand, as I've always mentioned. It depends on all of us. It's a very important responsibility. So I thank you very much for your responsibility, for your sacrifice. And let's keep up the good work and continue to be very vigilant against COVID as we move along towards the end of the year. So with that note, I thank you for your attention, and we'll see you again on Friday. สวัสดีครับ
ครับขอบพระคุณนะครับ